And fall in, my fellow scouts, to a 1v1 Napoleon Total War Eagles mod today. Today we are at Battle of Waterloo, and today's replay comes from King Baby Bob. Now, if you guys would like to see your own replay featured here on this channel, you can send them to my email at scoutsoventertainment@gmail.com, my Discord ID, or there's an invite link to join my Discord server at Scouts Reconnaissance, where you can post your Total War replays into the Battle Replay sub-channel you will find there. Links to all those methods of contacting me with are in the video description below. You cannot miss it. If you'd like to support my work as well, I have various funding options available also in the video description. It really helps out. But if you want to help out in other ways, please remember to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and tick that bell for notifications so you stay up to date with all the latest content as it drops. And leave your own thoughts about this battle in the comment section below. And right now we've got France facing off here against the English. It looks like France has deployed their artillery, or at least one set of it. France here does have a lot of artillery pieces. These look like howitzers actually. I saw a 6-pounder before, and we have, I believe there's another 6-pounder there. This crew's a 3-person crew. We got a 12-pounder here, 3-cannon crew as well. Now it looks like the English forces here vastly outnumber the French. Now this is a 1v1, but these armies are massive, as you can see. England stretches pretty much all the way across the map here, whereas France is much more concentrated in the center. And, you know, England's also heavily concentrated in the center, but unlike France, he has troops here on either flank. So, you know, Bob here's going to be wondering if he can cover his flanks if England does move around him. We've got a few one-pointers on the field today, but I think this is going to be a, you know, winner-take-all kind of battle. These guys firing? Didn't think so. Not in combat, not in combat. So why are these guys shaking up? I thought artillery was firing. Well, there's a little bit of standoff here outside of the town here for the English. Now Bob's trying to move his artillery nearby onto higher ground, so he's got a better shot on the English troops. As reinforcements come down probably on the hill here. These troops are relatively protected where they are, but once they cross that ditch, I bet Bob will open up on them. We've got a bunch of Highlanders here as well. He's got his crews set up. He's getting them set up. 2 12-pounders. He's got a lot of 6-pounders and 12-pounders. We're going to see a lot of artillery action today, no doubt. But we've got a tiny face-off here, and so we'll come back once the combat begins. Alright guys, here we go. Howitzers lobbing their Jeez. That, I was going to say lobbing their shots, but it looked dramatic, but had no impact whatsoever, despite exploding right next to the enemy troops. The artillery got a 9-pounder here. And we have some 6-pounders, horse artillery up here. And we got another, well, this is a 1-cannon crew here. Light howitzer, just the one. I feel like this unit's morale was just crap to begin with. It's perpetually being low. It's been orange since the start of the battle, actually. All those shots here and only 2 casualties. A little bit high there. But France is targeting his position. Yes, how close does he have to get before they start shooting, I wonder? They must be hovering just outside of the English range. It looks like the balance of power though is with the French. Now, we've got some flashing lights here on the map, but that's mainly due to artillery fire. And France does some cavalry here, some chevaucheurs, some hussars. We got some Imperials, or Lancers, or Lance Imperials. More chasseurs over there, general over here. Strange place to put your general. Oh, maybe this isn't his general. It looks like his general unit. Machonnet Incondere. dragoons. Okay, so France has a lot of cavalry here. These armies are so big, Marco is going to be a big factor in this fight. I mean, if he's conducting a cavalry assault, he can't be managing the rest of his line if they're under attack. Both players have to be careful when they begin their assaults. Well, France has moved in. He's being fired upon by troops inside the building and across the river. Only down 2 casualties there. And we have 1 6-pounder as well firing at them. At close range. What's he firing just over their heads? I can see them just across the river. You can see their shadow. Oh, I just saw one of them fall. Well, France is slightly winning that fight. But the artillery is going to play a factor in that. England is occupying 2 buildings here.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Looks like France are going to try and conquer the building. He's going straight in. What's he trying to attack with? Div Durete. No, I can't see what the English unit is. No, cavalry's here, but it's too late to do anything. I wonder if they can shoot the crew. Oh, he's only down by 10. Yeah, we've got artillery going off here and there everywhere. We've got 4 French units hovering just outside the building here. I don't know why they don't just move in. They outnumber them. I don't think there's any nasty surprises in store for them. I would be surprised if there are hidden units. This is just skirmishes. So France outnumbers them in quality and in numbers. Quality and quantity. So why doesn't he move in? Anyway. We've got a large portion of English troops here. On the far northeastern corner. I'm not sure if there's a rule here that England can't attack all at once. If he did, he just overwhelmed France, I think. Okay, he's going in again. Alright. So what we got over here anyway? We got a few artillery crews. Set of 4 6-pounders. 3 7-pounders. And 3 12-pounders. And his general here. Well, his general is here. Jeez. It seems like England is just saving his heavy hitters for later. I don't know if France can actually defeat all this. It's a huge ask. Well, his attempts to cross the river have met with failure so far. And his battery is set. It looks like he's trying to hammer this position. With no success, no hits. No, we got a what? A 6-pounder moving up, another one. And we have 1 6-pounder here, and we got 2 9-pounders here as well.
Our men are running, sir.
And we have another 6-pounder here. And the French army is on the move over here. Alright, so it looks like King Baby Bob is putting his assault on the right flank on hold while he commits his forces here to the centre. Now, France has a lot of troops to engage with. He needs a victory. He's got to be careful. He needs his artillery line just to hammer this ridge here. He's got to try and force England back somehow. England's not moving up their artillery. You think they would with France initiating an attack. They don't have to go very far. I mean, probably just set the crew right up here. On the other side of the river. Or river embankment. Just here. And then shoot at the French troops as they come in. I think they're already exposed to them. Like, if we don't see England bring up the artillery to fire on Bob's position right here, then I think he's asking France, or he's letting France win this one. Because he's got the assets in place, I reckon, to force France back here and now, and he's just not using them. I don't know why he would be saving them. There's a little bit flickering here in the Napoleon Total War's Eagles mod. I don't know why it's not liking the visible rounds here. Maybe I gotta try and keep the camera still or something. See? You see the little tracer bullets, the little black tracers? Little bits of lead. Well, the entire line here is down about 10 men each unit. So France is nailing them. This didn't have to be the case. I think England just needs to bring up that artillery. I'd like to know why the English player didn't, so if you can comment that in the comment section below, I would definitely want to hear his thoughts on that. He's got a huge army, you see, so he might have a long game strategy, I don't know. But the artillery has a lot of ammo. We see artillery pieces from players fire pretty much for the whole hour once they start. I don't think I've ever seen an artillery unit run out of ammunition. So saving the ammo I don't think applies in this context. You can see the English line slowly just eroding. Okay, down by 30 now. France is killing it. He outnumbers them. England needs to pull back here. He's going to lose these units. Alright, France has chosen to go on a side where he can spread out his forces a bit better. He has stretched out his firing line, so to speak. If he moves in fast enough, he can catch a unit of English troops before they cross the river. Oh, they're already going to do it. They're already going to fire. Let's see how effective it is. Well, I don't see a single trooper drop. He's got to move in closer. That was not a good shot. Not a good volley. France is going to move up now. This unit is in the way. Once it crosses the river though, it gets into position, then England's going to be ready for France if he tries to form up on the other side. And then England will get the first volley off. It will start laying into France as he forms up. And those are troops and casualties that France can't afford. Especially with English artillery nearby, because that artillery can also get a good shot on the French forces if they line up here on the embankment. Okay, they got 2 casualties there. Also, Bob, why were these guys just sitting around? Why couldn't he commit these forces just yet? Because it seems like these are his elite troops. Just looking at them. And the artillery, this is like a huge KO punch there, that kind of force. Once he unleashes it, I feel like. Like, if that moves forward, there's no way the forces here could repel them. They'd be decimated for sure. Over here, they would definitely struggle once they move into open plain. Well, that battle went as expected. He didn't commit those forces. Okay, no other battle. Oh, hang on. Looks like France launched an assault.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Or they're moving up at least. No, they're just standing around being shot at. Well, it looks like Bob's position is on the far side of the map. We know he's launching an attack. This is probably where his attention is right now. I don't know if there's even a point in capturing this building. If that English force moves over here, unloads their artillery, this house for sure is gone. They have an insane amount of firepower here. Holding that house is almost pointless, knowing that there's enemy with the kind of enemy force that's out there. Alright guys, we are back briefly because the English force here that we talked about that I was dreading is on the move, or at least some of the units are. The cavalry has moved forward a little bit, the artillery is also making their way forwards, and we've got the first rank on the move. Alright, the entire army here is moving. Now, how will King Baby Bob react to it? Obviously, he's not worried at all. I'd be freaking out. Pull back, mate, pull back, it's suicide. He's outnumbered cavalry, firepower, there's nothing he can do right now. His best way to address this is to set up his army, set up his artillery on the hill here, fire into the English forces as they come towards him, if he has any artillery in the area. I don't know. I'm not seeing any, I'm just seeing troops and cavalry. I don't think he has enough of either.
Our men are running, sir.
Cavalry, maybe he's got superiority. But if England unloads his artillery and starts firing into him. In fact, England just needs to sort of peel apart like Moses in the Red Sea. Just peel apart, maybe de-lumber his artillery here and now, line them up, fire into the enemy cavalry, get some kills, do some damage. Who knows, you could actually break them. Wait and see. But I commend Bob's bravery, but I still don't think it's wise for him to try and challenge this force. Not without supporting artillery nearby, and I don't think he has it. I only saw cavalry and infantry. And again, I'm not confident with these infantry. England's so far spread out. Okay, well, this unit's lost 7, I suppose, and 1 there. These guys have been firing on them for some time. They're going to run out of ammunition eventually. Jeez, that was awesome. 5 6-pounder set. Wow. I told you France had a lot of firepower, but then again, so does England. But both players here have not really deployed their artillery in good spots. Both trying to use the terrain to shield themselves from the enemy artillery, but as a result, it's bouncing over their heads and hitting the ground before it's either hitting the ground and bouncing over the artillery's heads for both players, or they're just overshooting every time. See? I think that's where the rounds are hitting. Although it looks like, wow, Bob's lost 2 crews here, or 2 men. He keeps hitting that ridge every time. I'm not that confident for him there. We have a... Geez, what's this? Looks like a 3-pounder or something. 6-pound, okay. No, it's a 6-pounder crew. Out here by itself. Cavalry is, I suppose, is nearby. Maybe he's trying to dangle that out there as bait. But, you know, again, micro. Micro's going to be the problem here. Alright, France charged in. It looks like he's won the cavalry fight.
Must rest a while.
So he's going to try and pursue the English invader. No, he's going to pull back. Okay, so he won that fight. We've got a massive firing line up here. None of these units can form square, but they will get a volley off on that cavalry before it charges in, and that will destroy it, for sure. That's a lot of firepower, a lot of rifles. Now he's pulling back the artillery. Don't know why. Alright. The late unit broke, but they should come back. It looks like that artillery might be trying to snipe them through the buildings there. And we've got a couple of kills here and there. Alright. Time 65 minutes left. My god. Well, this kind of warfare definitely would have been slow going back in the day. Maybe it's why those campaigns lasted so long. But then how did Napoleon conquer the world in such a short space of time? It's amazing. Well, he conquered the world, then he lost it, but you know, he conquered it, so you gotta give him that. Alright, the artillery here has delumbered and fired, after all. So, you know, Bob seems to be managing his line pretty well. He's trying to fall back behind the buildings there, England. I lost about 6 men. Imagine if that cannonball just arced over that crest there. Oh, that's a hell of a ricochet. Oh, it arced over the crest. It got a hit. Oh man, one artillery round going to about here, I would wager. It could potentially hit every troop in that row. At least these 3 rows. He's got cavalry over here. England doesn't have cavalry over here. And he's got like 4 or 5 or 6 French infantry units. So he can move these guys up here, challenge the English force here at the same time, move his cavalry around from behind, charge them, destroy that force, move in, capture this building.
Our men are running, sir.
Bob's got the opportunity here to score a small victory here over this force. He can defeat it, he can destroy it, and then he can move forward towards to the main English force in front of him over here. But, you know, he's got to worry about that huge English force on his right flank. But, you know, if he's that worried about it, he should just withdraw for now, you know. Withdraw, fight his battle here on the far left, then come back over here later. I think he's got time to do that. Just withdraw, fight somewhere else, come back. Okay guys, we're back. England has moved up their whole battle line here, but it's being hammered. Oh, shoot! Jeez, we came back at the right time there. Huh? Killed their general? Okay, so Bob must be England. Oh, I didn't say what faction he was, I just assumed he was France because we started on the French side. I guess we'll find out who's who later. But I really thought Bob was France. Anyway, England formed the battle line here. As I said, the entire French battery here has just been hammering the centre. Took off his head there. You gotta wonder why England's just standing here and taking this. He's got artillery behind his force here firing, trying to provide some cover, but It's a little bit confusing why he's just standing here and taking this fire instead of just initiating an attack. And it doesn't have to initiate an attack here, it can initiate the attack on his right flank here, on this line. You know? Try and maneuver the troops around this way so this little hill here, this little ridge, can provide some cover. You know, artillery's trying to fire on this unit, but I think it's safe for this guy, for this crew to move down. Just move him down to here, so he can fly straight into the English forces, force them back. Meanwhile, France is formed up and are waiting for England's arrival. Okay, they're trying to seize control of the building here from France.
The man of fatigues are a must wrestle.
I don't know why he's being so cautious. He knows the enemy's inside the building. He just poked his head out and put a bayonet straight to the chest. Everyone's being stabbed. Alright, England's being forced back. I was going to call on France and England to avoid any further embarrassment. Jeez, you're gonna try again. Why is the morale so shaky? Yeah, they're being fired upon by a couple of units, but they still have 187 men of a 199 men unit. Morale's shot. I think the trees here are causing them a lot of problems. Where's all the artillery crews? Okay. It's a little bit of a mystery why I didn't bring them up. But we're going to see a real engagement here. Alright, England's on firing. Jeez, don't fire at your own peril. Oh, now they're firing. Now, both the units here are getting a bit skittish after receiving every enemy volley. Down 20 men there. That could be a 3-on-1 scenario. Again, England has superiority. Probably should move in these two units on the right flank. He's outnumbered. All these guys firing inside the building here. They've only taken out 4 men since we last looked. These guys here are slowly being eroded by the French artillery. I wouldn't wait till they have too much longer to live. But yeah, look. France here needs to move up their artillery. I don't know why he's keeping it held back as long as he is. I mean, there's no threat to them right now. There's no enemy cavalry nearby. And it would just help him destroy England that much faster. He's got plenty of infantry here to cover him as he moves up his artillery. He should just do that. England's going to keep more troops to this fight. Right now it looks like France is winning it. He's got to focus on the right or the left flank. Probably the left, because there's no building there, obviously. Balance of power does appear to be with France. Well, England's trying his best to gain the upper hand here. France sending in reinforcements to challenge England's superiority over here. Geez, no casualties yet at all. Despite 200 rifles firing at them. Granted, units like this do not have the best accuracy at all, but they're pretty darn close. England's suffering heavy casualties there. This unit's down nearly 20. That seems like that's the unit that's hardest hit here. Or most hardest hit, I was going to say. 30 there. Well, England's doing alright here now. France is starting to feel some pressure, which is a bit surprising, considering England's sustaining more casualties overall than France. Okay, it looks like we might have some action on the far south of the map. Oh, maybe not. They're just getting closer to each other.
Our men are running, sir.
You think these units are close enough to fire on each other? Obviously not. These two units are really close to the artillery. But they're not firing on them. They're aiming for the enemy batteries over here. And after all that fire, they've only killed one member of that crew. Meanwhile, it looks like France is slowly losing that fight. Yeah, he's definitely losing that fight. He shouldn't be wasting his time on it. He keeps staying here. He's going to lose that crew. He's got to fall back. Find a better position to set up.
Our men are running, sir.
He's slowly dying there. Geez, now I can try to take that building again. Okay, down about 50 men there now. 60 there, 60 there, 30 or so there. 20 and broken that unit. No, it's actually an artillery crew. How'd that happen? That is interesting. Maybe he sent them up there by mistake. This line's not looking too healthy here for England. France is looking much better. England does have more troops in reserve. He's still got his artillery batteries, but he's not using them.
men are running, sir.
He probably could have destroyed that house by now. That would have shaken France a little bit to lose that house. England seems to be dying a very slow, agonizing death. And he's down almost 100 men there. A lot of his friends nearby aren't faring much better. Alright, 45 minutes remaining. Until we need until we need to have a winner decided. That just seems to happen when we have so many bullets moving on the field. Unlike Napoleon Total War 3, Napoleon Total War Eagles seems to show the bullets as they fly with a bit more detail than Napoleon. And I'm guessing the screen just can't keep up with all the movement of the bullets. It has little screen spasms. Okay, England's moving in over here. Oh, France has got a couple of units here trying to beat back England and protect the rear of their firing line over here. That was lucky. France managed to get 2 units over here just in time to force these guys back behind the building so they can't fire into his friends over here. Yep, these guys are firing. Alright, so it looks like these 2 units here are under attack from the French. Now, it looks like every single unit here has copped some form of damage. Oh, got a little bit of a 3-on-1 situation, 3-on-2 situation here, sorry. Has he finally begun his assault to take that house over there? Yeah, well, we've got some of the infantry starting to fire now. Why aren't the rest of the forces moving up?
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It looks like the battle's only being engaged here because England has actually moved towards France. He hasn't walked into the range of all these other units here. Those guys there are firing directly into that unit there. I think they're killing themselves. England's moved up to face French again. Or face France again.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
His troops are breaking. I can't speak. His troops are breaking there. We've got bayonet charge on our hands here. This is our first bayonet charge of the match. Okay, we've got the 4th Corps here. This is the Chasseurs. Okay, victory there for the Chasseurs. Trying to break all these units here. And these guys can't form square. Oh, these guys are routing now too.
Our men are running.
Oh, we got the infantry firing into the English cavalry. And that broke them. Down 50%. French cavalry being committed here into the town. I don't know if any unit here has the ability to form square. I haven't seen it yet.
Our men are running.
Okay, both these units here have been broken. The cavalry needs to move forward to take him out. They'll certainly come back to the fight. France must pursue and destroy. Well, he's definitely doing it here. But he's got to catch up to that other unit.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest awhile.
I think he's going to let the unit get away. France obviously reluctant to move forward here because of the artillery behind them. Behind the English forces. What's going on over here? Well, once again, France beats back England. And all the troops here have engaged, finally. But England isn't sending in their reinforcements. They got 4 units back there. And these guys here are doing alright, but they need support. They're actually winning. They need to bring up those reinforcements to beat back the French forces here. Again, they don't need to really worry about the artillery. I mean, it looks like this artillery piece is heavily reliant on lucky ricochets to hit the enemy troops. But the longer he waits to send up reinforcements, the more time France has to get himself back in this fight here. Like, he's doing his best, but France has to move up right now, pursue and destroy the enemy forces here. I think maybe it's even... no, it's probably too late. He's just got to move up. He's got to straighten up this battle line here to face all the 5 English units in front of them. He's got to bring up that artillery piece. Just keeps hitting the ground.
Our men are running.
And hell, their own friendly troops are in the way, so if by some miracle it clears the hill here, it's going to hit their own troops. Okay, we've got 2 French infantry units moving up. I'm not sure why. 19 out of 35 left alive. Okay. So England charged forth here trying to destroy the artillery crew. And they're not shooting at the enemy infantry that's closest to them right now. Bouncer power shifting back to the middle here, so England's fighting his way back into this. You know France has cavalry, but he's not running the fort to destroy this artillery piece. There's a huge gap in enemy lines, he can move forward. He's got some spare cavalry, we know that. There's 2 cavalry units over here. Send them up and be done with it. I was really liking England's chances here before. But he never really got his artillery involved in the fight until after most of his army was destroyed. And the easiest way for France to win this battle is to move up his infantry and also send in his cavalry as a shield, as a smoke screen. They'll charge into the artillery and the enemy cavalry and the enemy infantry, do their thing, provide some cover while the French infantry moves up, and by the time all the units clear out of the way, the French infantry here will be there. They can start firing to the artillery crew, bring them down faster before they can fire a cluster shot, maybe. It's just a bit of a gamble, but I think France can pull it off. Looks like England's on their last ropes in a lot of places, actually. He's still got a lot of troops left over, no doubt about it. He's being outflanked.
Our men are running, sir.
Where's that at? Two more units there, bro. He's got cavalry here. Again, not sending them up. Well, after he defeats these three units, there's nothing really stopping him from trying to take that building.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
There's a couple of units here, but he's also got 2 units here plus an artillery crew. If they bother firing in the right direction. I think they're firing in the wrong direction here. Not to be too mean about it. Okay, one more unit here is left in the fight.
Our men are running, sir.
I wonder how long this guy will stay alive here. Down to 125. He's not losing too many men that quickly. I know we're hearing a lot of screams here. It's not like the death rate is that high. Alright, France has given up. He's not even going to try to take that position. He's just going to fall back with what he has. We had England, I think, maybe trying to move up here, or not. No, he's not.
Our men are running, sir.
No, maybe he shouldn't. Maybe he's just waiting for the other English forces over here to move through the town. And then he'll move through the town with these guys here. And head towards the French after that. France has not had a good time taking too many houses.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
Alright, now what happens? Well, the building's right there. Is he going to try and take it or what? Alright guys, we are back. I didn't show you these guys here before, but we got about 6 cavalry units on the French here, facing off against 6 or 7 English units on the other side of the town. We've got another unit of French cavalry heading over here to try and support them. We've got the French army here moving towards this building. It looks like they might be thinking about taking it, which is good to see. It's taken them a little while here to organise their attack. It looks like they're finally about to begin it. Well, steady volleys there from both players. And the terrain not being too kind to either side. France is really stacking up his cavalry force. It's like he's calling cavalry from all corners of his empire, you know, before he charges in, trying to even the playing field a little bit. Cavalry here's got to pick up their pace a little bit. Cuirassiers, the elite French cavalry. Okay, France is trying to attack this town from both sides at once. Definitely a good idea. What's he going to do about that enemy artillery though? There could be some problems for him. Well, not taking too many casualties. England's looking alright there for now. We got 4 French units there, not doing too much at all. Alright guys, it looks like France is starting to win that attack at the front of the town. That attack here has been going on for some time actually. This other unit is relatively protected, I think, from the hill and that wooden cart. As you can see, he hasn't really sustained any casualties for at least 10 minutes. I think it's mainly due to that wooden cart. Cavalry continues their face-off, although England is edging their way closer and closer. So I commend England on slowly moving up, as opposed to France just staying put. And if it was France moving up, I'd be giving him credit as well. Alright, looks like England's getting a little bit desperate here. France is looking in a much stronger position. He has more forces stationed in the area. England's moving up here at the same time, and France has forces here that can outflank England's right flank for sure, and the left flank, and attack England with intense pressure in the centre. So everything looks like it's coming up France right now. I don't know why France is charging into the centre. It's like he's inviting France to surround and overwhelm his forces here in the area. Already we can see what's going to happen if he goes any further forward. He can't be the one to initiate the attack. If he does, he's asking those 2 forces here on either side just to totally move in like a giant mouth, just to chomp, chomp, chomp until there's nothing left. So in light of that, these 2 flanks here need to pivot inwards. At the same time, France just moves forward, and then these 7 units here are adios. So the longer France takes to do this, obviously the more damage England can inflict on him. And obviously France doesn't want that, so move in France already, you know? I know all about the town here and all that, but France can move in now. It looks like the artillery here broke that entire unit. The battery here just absolutely shredded it. There's a huge chunk of it missing. I wonder if he's still firing at it. Yeah, it looks like he is. This firing line here of England's is pretty much in alignment with the French batteries. And looks like he's still firing the English forces here that broke just before. Amazingly, France is not peeling off a couple units here to outflank England. I don't know why. Yeah, 4 units here not doing anything, just staring at a town. He can move up, outflank England from his right. At the same time, move forward these French units. Again, it just comes down to micro. France can only be so many places at once.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright, we've got a few units here returning to the fight, as we saw before. Jeez, we had like 7 men there drop. Oh, they both broke again.
Our men are running.
I wonder if they'll stay broken this time. Time remaining 19 minutes 55 seconds. France is wearing them down there for sure. These units here, they need to peel off and attack for England right now. What is this cavalry horde from both sides waiting for? One of them's got to charge in eventually. It's a strange place though to stand off, you know, because both sides here will have to run through that town. Well, looks like France is making the move. He's going to try and charge in. Is he running? No, he's walking. There you go. Now he's just hoping England's not paying attention. Well, he's making his move, but England is not reacting to him.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must rest a while.
They're running. Oh no, he's a gunner cav. And they broke him. It must have been on auto fire. Getting some nice kills there. But he's being overwhelmed. This would be a good time to send in the reserves. This cavalry is needed over here for sure. England's doing alright. They got one force there broken. These cuirassiers need to charge in too. Alright, 2 French units now broken. Despite France getting the drop on England here, it doesn't seem to be helping him too much.
Our men are running, sir.
France has turned the tide there. Well, things looking a bit up here for France. Well, we got 5 English units remaining on the field as opposed to 3 now French. Oh no, 4.
The men are fatigued.
It looks like France is going to leave his elites in the fight. And they broke. Alright, so despite France getting the drop on England there, it wasn't enough. England had the quality of troops to beat him back. And we've got infantry superiority on the English side here. I think it's one of the few times we've seen it so far in this battle. Aside from the Battle of the River Embankment. where England had infantry superiority here over the French.
The men are fatigued, sir, must rest a while.
Most of the English forces here have been cleared out now, in fact. We've got 2 English cavalry units totally out of place. Yeah, we know France lost their general, it probably is the general's unit. They're just going to finish off their bodyguard. Hey, these units form a square. This is the first time I've seen a unit do this in this fight. Jeez, it's like France knows this whole line is in trouble, or doomed. They can't form a square, we've got cavalry bearing down upon them. All the morale for each unit here is shaky at best.
The men are fatigued, sir, must rest a while.
On the verge of breaking at worst. Okay, France has lost their left flank. Alright guys, we're back. We've got 8 French units in the area. The grenadiers here aren't facing the cavalry, they are not firing. Possibly they're out of ammunition. See, this is why you probably got to have troops on auto fire so that they can just start shooting if your attention is elsewhere. Alright, they're charging.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright guys, we're back. England's going to lose their force in the middle. Jeez, he's really hunkering outside this house. Well, it looks like Francis wants to force the battle into open plain, where he can have more control, I reckon.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright guys, we're back towards the final stages of this fight here, and we got a broken infantry unit that reformed and is firing into the backseat of some English cavalry, which could be better served charging into French infantry and artillery. So you know, France is trying to regroup with all their forces. It's looking pretty strong. Despite everything, France is not as weak as England, I feel. Alright, we had 2 units there break. Looks like 52nd Foot and 7th Highlanders. These other units here, well, on the verge of breaking. Alright, we had 3 French infantry units move up. We've got the artillery crew here, I think, maybe pounding the enemy troops in front of them. Is it on fire or what? Oh man, careful, 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 careful. Oh jeez, that was close. Alright guys, we are approaching the final stages here of this enormous marathon of a battle. And it looks like France is edging out England just in the lead. We've got 5 minutes left to go here. Something dramatic has got to shift. Can France move forward?
Our men are running, sir.
We've got England applying a lot of pressure here. We've got 2 units forming square, which is enough to actually deter and defeat the cavalry onslaught from England. Jeez, where'd that come from? These guys got shot in the back. Might be friendly fire. Alrighty, what we got here? We got, I think England's general there is now dead. England's regrouping here across the ridge. I think France has this battle here in the bag. He's also got reinforcements nearby, but he's not moving them up to support the infantry here. Come on guys, fire, fire! Alright, the center unit here just broke. It was the first to cave. We got 2 minutes 48 seconds left on the clock. Jeez, England's looking pretty strong here now. But so's France. France has plenty of troops in reserve. Wow, we got England here trying to take this house here from the French, with French infantry standing outside the house. They can easily just line up and fire into the troops as they go inside the building here. They need to stop. So we've got multiple generals here that are dying. Hey, England took the house. Routing, routing. Alright, looks like the French army just broke all of a sudden at once, giving England the battle. That must have been the main general there that died. Jeez, after when he died here, everything just shut down.
Is soon to be yours.
Jeez, talk about a catastrophic failure and an unbelievable turn of events. I was thinking France was about to win that one. And that is it. I think maybe it was King Baby Bob controlling England. If that's true, then good. If not, sorry there, Baby Bob. England here gained 2,625 kills. France here, 3,320. So, despite the fact... Well, then again, England had the far superior army. He had 3,000 men more. So, good job there to France. Well done to England. If you want to see your own replays featured here on this channel, guys, you can post them to my links at scoutsentertainment@gmail.com, my Discord ID, or you can join my Discord server at Scouts Reconnaissance and post your total war replays into the Battle Replay sub-channel you will find there. Thank you to King Baby Bob for sending me the replay. This is Micka on behalf of Scouts of Entertainment signing off. Dismissed, my fellow Scouts. Catch you in the next Total War battle.